Hey everyone, it's Mike with It's Pittsfield Tonight. I'm going to jump right into it, and I'm going to start with Burr. I did my early morning walk this morning, and the cold weather, I think, is finally here to stay. And I posted this yesterday, but if the Farmer's Almanac is correct, be prepared for a very cold winter and a lot of snow. So if you ski or you board or you plow, that could be a good thing. If you don't like the cold and you don't like snow, that could be a bad thing. But I say if it's going to be winter, let it be winter. Bring it on. Even though on the calendar, we're still almost 2 months away from winter. But nonetheless, I think we're going to have a cold winter. The Farmer's Almanac they got a pretty good track record, somewhere between 70 and 80%. So, and they've been around a long time. So anyway, on that note, if you go out today, we'll be lucky to get out of the 40s. So tonight, Tuesday, is the 27th. We have a city council meeting, and there's a few things on the agenda, but the big one on the agenda tonight is the return of the mayor's At Home in Pittsfield project. And for those of you that don't know, this is a program that she proposed last year, the city, in cooperation with a couple of our local financial institutions, but the city will be making forgivable loans to certain homeowners for certain repairs, like maybe if you need a new roof on your home or siding or a porch. It has to fit what their guidelines are for this. It has to be exterior only. It can only be certain things. And the big deal with this, that there were opponents of it, is that it's good. The funds will be coming out of the Economic Development Fund. And there were people that were against that because they were saying this doesn't fit the guidelines of economic development. Helping somebody who might need a new roof on their home, how is that economic development? So this go around, it has changed a little bit. The mayor has upped the ante to $500,000. She wants to take $500,000, and there's a lot of criteria that you have to fit for this. So it's the whole thing is really, in my opinion, is not how you do something like this. But it doesn't matter what I think about that right now, because the mayor has the votes, I believe. I mean, the clique that's in power on the council that is aligned with the mayor will, I'm sure, approve this. Not 100% on that, but I would be more shocked and surprised if they didn't. But there was a lot of controversy on this. And, one of the things that really annoyed me about this program is it didn't pass last time. So the mayor has brought it back, and she did a little piece with our local paper. They interviewed her, and she couldn't resist to make this personal. So she mentioned by name, or went after some of the former city councilors who she said that the only reason they voted against this before is because it was election year politics. So there was another jab at a couple of our former city councilors, and these dirty politics and this like mean kids in high school stuff, I hate it. I absolutely hate it. That was so unnecessary for her to do that. It really was. And that's just assuming. That's her opinion saying that. And as the leader of the city, that was her opinion, to go after people that were on the council before, I guess. And some that are still there now. But so this will go up tonight. And, I hope there's open transparency with this, because the city, if it's the same as it was last time, the city will pick who the contractors are. They will decide who the homeowners are that can have this forgivable loan. It can't be used for an income property where you just rent it out to tenants. You have to live there on the property. It can't be used for any interior stuff. And, when they pick the contractors, will that be open and transparent? Will the public be able to see what the bids were? Or are we going to see that somebody's paying, 15, 20 grand for a roof on a house, or I don't know. I hope there's a lot of open transparency with it, because it's a $500,000 coming out of the Economic Development Fund, and it's basically the city getting involved in the loan business. Now, in my opinion, there's a ton of other ways this could have been done to assist these homeowners without taking it out of the Economic Development Fund, because it is a far reach to call this economic development. And one of the things I saw was, I forget the exact amount, but part of the criteria was that the household income can't exceed something like $107,000 a year. And when I saw that, I thought, you're telling me if a household is bringing in well over $100,000 a year, they can't afford to put a roof on their house if they have a leaky roof, and the city is going to pay for it? I mean, the whole thing seems kind of odd to me. And how is this economic development? If you can't afford to do that, how are you, is it economic development because they're saying it's going to increase the value of that home? So again, if you can't afford the repairs you need for essential stuff like a roof, how are you going to afford the tax increase? Because I guess that's where the economic development part of it would be, is what they're saying, that it'll increase the value of the housing stock. So if these houses in these neighborhoods now go up in value, obviously their property taxes will go up. So can they afford that, or will there be assistance with that, or will they not go up? Because should a roof increase the value of a home? I've never heard of that happening. I guess maybe siding could, or maybe a new front porch or something like that. But is that really economic development? Putting a new porch on somebody's house? So I don't know. I hope they explain a little more in detail about this. And I hope the mayor doesn't continue to be like the mean kids in high school and just go after people who oppose her. You know, she should go back and listen to her inauguration speech she gave, which is still listed, I believe, on the city's website as a hot topic or something, where she said, you know, she was driving in her little car back from a snowstorm, and her father told her, don't ever look back, because she was so scared. Well, don't look back then. How is looking back on something that happened on that council in the past with counselors who are no longer there, and bringing that up just to kind of throw a jab at some people? How is that helpful in any way whatsoever? And it's just throwing it in the face of your constituents who might have voted for some of those people, who might like some of those people. It served zero purpose except to just, again, we're in that era of victimizing yourself. You know, that's how people push things through, it seems like, in politics. So unnecessary, so unprofessional. But hopefully we get some transparency on that. So tonight's city council meeting, again, they're all still Zoom meetings, so the council can't figure out a safe way to gather in a room in distance with masks. They're just not going to do it. We have new counselors on there. We have, like, I think 3 brand new counselors, 4 new counselors, but 3 that were never on the council before. I haven't heard anything from any of them, really. Our at-large counselor, Counselor Cohen, who's the newest of the at-large counselors, I've never even heard her speak. I've never heard her ask any questions pertaining to issues about finance or this and that, and I thought that was her strong point. So not being able to attend these council meetings, not being able to have real transparency where the public can go and speak and ask questions, and I know they could do it safely. There's a way to safely do that, but they're just not going to do it. They're going to stick to this because, you know, who knows? Hopefully they're doing it fairly when people call in, because there's a lot of people that complain that say, I've been trying to call in, and a lot of people get muted out. And, you know, you can see if you're logged into Zoom where it says you're being muted by the moderator. You could see that. That happened to me once. It didn't on the last one, but it did before. So hopefully that goes smooth, and I'll be able to talk about that on Wednesday or Thursday. maybe Thursday, because I always say Wednesday, the next day, and I've got so many things on my plate. But I'll definitely have another video out by Thursday, if not tomorrow. So another big one that I've discussed is what's going on North Street with the shared spaces and streets project. And that's got a lot of people mad because, again, they felt there was no transparency, no communication, and a lot of people just found out by going to North Street. And look, it is at the responsibility of the city to reach out publicly to promote these kind of things, to engage people, not the other way around. You shouldn't have to go digging into your city government to find out what's going on. Any of these kind of things should be the other way around. The city puts messages out. They spend a little bit of time and resources on making sure they're effectively communicating with the community and making sure that people are understanding this. So someone did reach out to me who was involved, a big part of that project, and I will be doing an interview. I'm going to set something up this week. I've just got to catch up on a few other things. I've been working through doing the videos that I wanted to do for all our local pizzerias and getting all that done. So, and I've got a long way to go on that. It takes a lot of time building those. So I'm working on those. I've got other people that have called me about other issues that are very important. One down near Pontuzic Lake that I'm trying to get more information on. But again, it's very tough right now getting through to anybody, getting responses from anybody. But there's a lot of things going on. So, and all of it seems to boil down to lack of transparency, lack of communication, and residents feeling like they're just being pushed aside and their opinion and their voice doesn't matter. And there's a lot of that. And I get it's a weird time, we're in the middle of a pandemic, but still, I mean, government has to still function. So I don't know. If you haven't heard from me and you're waiting to, I will be getting to you. I've got a ton of things. So anyways, I'm going to be doing an interview with this person on the project that is everyone's seeing on North Street. And this person reached out to me and said that they'd be more than happy to answer any questions or concerns so that could be a good interview and hopefully informative to people because it is confusing. And we know snow is right around the corner. And how is that going to change things there? So it's a little odd what happened and the timing on it is odd. And so anyway, I'll end it with that is expect an interview with him coming up on that. So that's basically it for now. There's a few things I did want to mention. If you remember up at Osceola Park, the rope tow, I went up there and I put some pictures and I was shocked that where the rope tow itself had a couple of years or 3 years probably worth of growth inside. There were trees 10 feet tall. The city did go in there a couple weeks ago and clean that up. They did go in there. It had to be more than just weed whacking, but they did go in there and clean that up a little. The fencing is starting to fall apart around that. That needs some work. I don't know what's going on with it, but it is cleaned up, as you can see in the photos behind me. So that's a good thing. A lot of our parks, I got to say, Clapp Park is looking better than I've ever seen it look in my life. There's been a lot of work and a lot of resources spent there. Not everything is bad here, and I hope people, I get some of those messages from some people who are big supporters of our administration we have now that think I'm unfair all the time. But, there's a lot of good things. Another bust where our police department got more drugs off of the street and another weapon off of the street. There's a lot of heroin and a lot of guns on the streets in Pittsfield, and parts of Pittsfield have become very dangerous. These murders, we haven't heard a follow-up from that, but I know maybe this week the mayor's giving another one of her award-winning speeches or award-winning videos, and maybe she'll mention something about that. Maybe we'll hear about that. So hopefully. But to the people in some of those neighborhoods that have reached out to me, I haven't forgotten you either. I'm trying to get as much information on certain things as I can, and I will be getting back to you on that. So that is it for now. If you can, tonight's city council meeting, 7 p.m., Spectrum channel 1303. You can find it on there, or you can log in. You can go to the city's website, and it has the login for Zoom, so you can call up and you can, definitely during the public speaking section in the beginning, and you can voice your opinion, or if you have concerns. And I encourage as many people that can to call up and do that. You won't always get through, but you never know. Maybe you will. But it's worth doing it. It's worth having your voice heard. And if you do have concerns regarding this project, or even want to know with the At Home in Pittsfield project, if you potentially qualify, how this is going to work and how they're saying this is economic development. So we'll find out more on that, but through tonight's meeting. But call up if you do have concerns, or if you have cable, channel 1303, and then you can find it on PCTV's website. I hate to keep plugging them after what they did to me, but I will. I support community television. I just thought that was really nasty what they did to me when they shut me down like that, or tried to. But anyway, I do support community television, so I'll try not to make that personal. But that is it for now, everyone. So pay attention to what's going on, and look for that interview coming up soon on the Shared Spaces and Streets program that I'm going to be doing, and a couple other things. And again, if you reached out to me, I haven't forgotten you. I'm just catching up, and I'll talk to you soon. So that's it for now, and I'll catch you all on Thursday.